Hi there, Honda owners. Today in your 2023 Honda Odyssey, we're going to be taking a look at and showing you how to install CURT's Class 3 2-inch trailer hitch receiver. And this is what our hitch looks like when it's installed. You will be able to see the cross tube completely going across the back, but with this vehicle, with the way the trunk pan hangs down, there's really not a whole lot of other options. So it is going to be kind of noticeable, but the vehicle does kind of sit on the lower side, so unless you're crouched down, kind of really paying attention, it's not going to be as noticeable as you think. It is a Class 3 2-inch receiver, so it's going to be great for all of your towing needs, whether you're wanting to use it for accessories like bike racks or cargo carriers, or if you're wanting to use it to haul a trailer. You should be able to haul some smaller utility trailers, some smaller campers as well, maybe like a pop-up camper, or some of the kind of more smaller teardrop style ones. Should be no problem with this either. You'll secure your accessories to your hitch using a 5/8 inch hitch pin and clip. Now, one doesn't come included with the hitch, but we've got plenty available here at eTrailer, and I'd recommend locking ones to protect your investment. On bottom, it has plate-style safety chain loops with a moderate size opening. That should work with most of your chains there. It is a little thick there, but you can see the S1 does fit on there, and then our bigger clip here also fits on there as well. So most of them shouldn't be too much of an issue. It might be a little tight, but they all should fit on there. This hitch features a 525-pound tongue weight, which is the force going down on top of our receiver. And that's going to be enough for a 4-bike platform rack, fully loaded up with 4 bikes. It's not quite enough for the largest cargo carriers that we have here at eTrailer, fully loaded up to the max, but it gets really close. You're going to be within about 50 pounds from being able to max out those cargo carriers. And it also features a 3,500-pound gross towing capacity, which is how much that it can pull behind it. And 3,500 pounds, again, should be able to do your pop-up campers, some of the smaller teardrop campers. There's a lot of boats out there that you could probably pull with this on the smaller to medium size. So it does have a lot of versatility to it. And you can actually increase the capabilities of this hitch by using a weight distribution system. We've got a lot of different weight distribution systems available here at eTrailer, and they'll take some of the weight that's pushing down in the back of our vehicle and distributing that to the front axle to restore lost braking and handling performance, and also increase the towing capacity of our hitch by a little bit. Now, our tongue weight's going to remain the same when using a weight distribution system, but the towing capacity that it can pull is going to increase to 5,000 pounds, giving you a little bit more versatility on the size of the things you can pull behind it. Now, I've got some measurements for you to help you when deciding on accessories. From the center of our hitch pin hole to the edge of our rear bumper, we're at about 3.5 inches, maybe closer to 4. Now, I'd say 3.5 right there. So that's important when determining if your accessories will contact the bumper when inserted, and if they can be placed in the upright storage position without contacting the bumper. And from the ground to the top inside edge of our receiver tube, we're right at about 13 inches. And that's important when determining if you need to drop, rise, or raise shank on your accessories. And this one is getting a little bit on the lower side, so you're probably going to want to raise shank on those accessories. And now that we've covered some of the features of our hitch, why don't you follow along with us and we'll show you how to get it installed. We'll begin our installation here at the back of the vehicle. We're going to remove the panel here on the driver's side, and there are 4 push pins that we're going to be taking off to get this panel off. You can use a trim tool or a screwdriver. I usually prefer the screwdriver because you can fit it up in there a little bit better in the little groove. Give it a little bit of a twist, kind of work it down, and then just pull it right out of there. Now, if it's being stiff on you, when you're kind of working it down, you get it down a little bit. Sometimes it's better to go to the other side and then get it from that side to make it a little bit easier, because dirt and debris gets up in there and really clogs these things up. And then after just even a couple of years, these little plastic fasteners get very brittle. So now at the front portion of the panel, if we look straight up in this section right here, we're going to have a 10mm bolt that our 10mm head bolt we'll remove with our 10mm socket here. And then behind our tire here, we've got a Phillips bolt we're going to remove right there. You're going to probably need a ratcheting bit tool to get in there because it's a little tighter. If you got a really stubby screwdriver, you might be able to get that in there as well. Once you get it loose enough, a lot of times you can take the rest out by hand. All right, now that we've got that loose, our panel's free, so we can drop it down. We can reinstall this if we want, but you will have to trim this panel to clear the hitch that we're going to install. So you could also choose just not to reinstall it. That's up to you. Over on the passenger side here, you've got a small just exhaust deflector here. We're going to move that out of the way as well. There's 2 pins that hold that in. They're just like the pins that we removed over on the other side. And then we can also pull that down and set it aside. So now we're going to fish wire some of our hardware in. Take your fish wire that comes in your kit, put the spacer over the coiled end, and then thread the carriage bolt, that's the round top head here, onto the fish wire. Push your bolt up in there, then push the spacer up in there, and then just pull it back down and let it hang like that. You'll have another fish wire and another one of these that you're going to put on the other side in the same hole that's located over there. So we're about ready to lift our hitch up, but I recommend taking one of the hex head bolts and sliding the conical tooth washer on it there so you got that ready so we can screw that right up into the bottom. So now with an extra set of hands, we're going to lift our hitch up, take your fish wires and put them in the hole that's going to be towards the front of the vehicle, and just lift it up into place. Take the bolt that you prepared and thread that into the weld nut here in the bottom of the frame. And once you get one started on each side, the hitch will hold itself up, making it easier to install the rest of your hardware. We'll come over to the other side here. You'll pull your fish wire down and then go ahead and get one started over on this side. And there you go, you can see it'll now hold itself, which will make it easier for the rest of our hardware. For your fish wire bolt that's down there, you can go ahead and unthread the coiled end, or you can just pull it off of there, whichever you want to do there. I always like to save them in case you need them for anything else. Maybe for some other projects. These are going to get the flange nuts that come in your kit. So that'll just thread on there like that. And then we'll have another hex head bolt with the conical tooth to go in the remaining hole that we've got here. We can now come back and snug down our hardware. The bolt heads we're going to use a 19mm socket for. And then we're going to switch to an 18mm socket for the nuts on the carriage bolt. You might have to pull your exhaust to the side when tightening the other side down. And now we can go back and torque our hardware to the specifications outlined in our instructions. And just a little tip for you for torquing this side, you can take a pry bar, kind of use the head of that bolt to pry your exhaust over, and stick a little piece of 2x4 in there just to keep it out of your way so you can get up in here and torque your hardware. And when you go to reinstall your panel, if you do want to put that back on, you'll need to trim it. You got like a lip right here. You can just follow down that lip, and then there's about 3 or 4 inches there that you can leave, and that should clear from there. We're just using a pair of tin snips to cut it out. And we'll just check our fit, but it should be able to get back up in there now. Kind of got to work it up into position there a little. There we go. And then we'll just reinstall all the fasteners that we had removed from here. And then on the passenger side, we don't need to modify this one at all. You can just put that back up in there. We just had to get that down so we could get our hitch lifted up into position. So I'll just line back up again and then just reinstall the fasteners there. And now that all of our hardware is torqued down, our panels are reinstalled, we can go ahead and load up our favorite accessory and hit the road. And that completes our installation of CURT's Class 3 2-inch trailer hitch receiver on our 2023 Honda Odyssey.